My buddy Marcus walked up to me at the gym looking pale. Bro, have you heard of a podcast called Test Your Man? I shook my head. He handed me his phone. Listen, start at minute 23. A woman's voice filled my ears. Familiar, too familiar. So my current boyfriend Damon has been the perfect test subject. He's passed 6 out of 8 so far. My girlfriend, Keisha, talking about me on a podcast with 47,000 followers. Test 1 was the late reply test. I waited 8 hours to respond to his texts for a week. He stayed patient. Passed. I thought she was busy with work. Test 4 was the financial stress test. I told him I was short on rent. He gave me $500 immediately. Passed. I gave her that money because I loved her. Test 6 was the priority test. I asked him to skip his best friend's birthday to help me move furniture. He did. Passed. Marcus's birthday. I canceled on him at the last minute. I ripped out the headphones. When was this posted? Yesterday. But the podcast launched 8 months ago, right when you two started dating. Our entire relationship was content for her show. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I found her ex Tyler online. Messaged him. His response came within an hour. She tested you too? Dude, she ran the same playbook on me. I failed the jealousy test after 7 months. She dumped me on the podcast and her followers celebrated. I found her ex before Tyler. Same story. And the one before him. 4 boyfriends. The same system. All of us content for her growing audience. I asked them all the same question. Would you be willing to share your story publicly? All 3 said yes. Keisha had a live podcast recording scheduled that Saturday. A ticketed event. 200 people. She was announcing a major relationship revelation. Probably that I'd passed enough tests to move to the next phase. Perfect timing. I bought a ticket under Marcus's name. Saturday night. The venue was packed. Keisha sat on stage with her co-host, glowing under the lights. Before we get started, she said, I have a special announcement about my current boyfriend. He's officially passed phase 1 testing with flying colors. The crowd cheered. I stood up from the back row. Actually, I have an announcement too. Keisha's smile froze. Damon, what are you doing here? I listen to your podcast. Every episode, including the ones where you describe manipulating me for content. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. You ignored me for 3 days to see if I'd apologize for nothing. You took $500 from me as a financial stress test. You made me skip my best friend's birthday to prove I'd prioritize you. Keisha stood up. Damon, we can talk about this after. I'm not the only one. I held up my phone. Tyler, are you there? His voice came through the speaker. I dated Keisha for 8 months. She ran the same tests on me. When I failed the jealousy test, she dumped me on air, and her followers laughed. Gasps from the audience. Marcus, same thing. Silent treatment tests. Financial tests. She faked a family emergency to see if I'd skip work. Devin? I spent 6 months thinking I was building something real. Turns out I was just content. The crowd was silent. 200 people staring at Keisha. You've tested 4 boyfriends with the same system, I said. You monetized our trust. You sold merchandise based on manipulating us. Keisha's co-host stepped away from her. I didn't know about the previous boyfriends, she said into her mic. Because I kept them separate, Keisha snapped. This is entrapment. Entrapment? You built a brand on testing men without their knowledge. You turned our relationships into psychological experiments, and you profited from every fail. Someone in the crowd started recording, then another, then half the room. Every woman who dates after you deserves to know what you do, I said. So we're posting everything tonight. The test schedules, the scoring sheets, all of it. Keisha's face crumbled. You're ruining me. No, you ruined yourself. We're just letting everyone see it. I turned to the crowd. She has 2 more tests scheduled for me. A sacrifice demand and a future fake out. After that, she decides if I'm worthy of commitment. That's not love. That's control. I walked toward the exit. Damon, wait! Her voice cracked. You passed. You were going to be the one. I stopped at the door and turned back. 200 phones recording. Her co-host backing away. Her audience watching in silence. I was never the one. I was just the current test subject. I smiled. Good luck finding the next one.